Champions League success for Seattle, Real Madrid in Los Angeles, and the return of a hero in Houston next on The Daily. Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Greg Lawless. I'm Nick Furshaw. We're going to start off with the CONCACAF Champions League action from Thursday night, the final of 3 MLS teams in action this week. In the tournament, the Seattle Sounders go out and get a 3-1 win over Caledonia, one of the Trinidadian teams in the tournament. A nice result for the Sounders to start off play in the tournament.
A great result for the Sounders at home at CenturyLink. And Andy Rose, the rookie out of UCLA, ends up being the star on the night. 2 assists and a goal, all in the first half. All the scoring actually came in the first half. Samuel Cho with a goal for Seattle Sounders, and Freddie Montero getting a goal as well. So good performance all around from the Sounders, exactly what they needed to get their Champions League campaign off on the right foot.
2 out of 3 wins for the MLS teams this week. The Seattle Sounders are back in action on Sunday, back in league play. They're up against the LA Galaxy. That should be a good game on Sunday night. Well, the Herbalife World Football Challenge resumed on Thursday night down at the Home Depot Center. The LA Galaxy hosting Spanish champions Real Madrid. And look, this one went the way a lot of people expected. Real Madrid with a 5-1 win. Maybe the Galaxy not expecting to give up a goal inside the first 2 minutes, but nonetheless, even Bruce Arena saying, look, we're not going to be able to hang with Real Madrid.
No, and he admits it. And look, this is an exhibition. Bruce Arena also coming out and saying this result doesn't matter ultimately whether you win or lose. A lot of respect from the Real Madrid guys. Jose Mourinho, the head coach, actually coming out and saying, look, the Galaxy are a team that could lose 5-1, they could lose 1-0, but they know that they're in the middle of the season, and this is more important to get the results for the league play than in this exhibition. And Mourinho coming out and saying, you know what? They play the game and they want to play the game well. And ultimately, that's the ultimate sign of respect from a coach like him. The
World Football Challenge resumes this week, and there's a good one for Real Madrid. They're playing in Las Vegas on Sunday night. They're playing Santos Laguna out in Las Vegas. One lucky reporter got sent out there from MLSsoccer.com. It was neither me or Greg, but you can find the complete coverage of the World Football Challenge on MLSsoccer.com. Well, I found out the news on Thursday that a former Houston Dynamo hero is headed back to MLS. It's Ricardo Clark, the 2010 World Cup veteran, and a guy who was with those Houston Dynamo teams back in the glory days, 2006, 2007, all the way up to 2009, before he took his shot in Europe. Now, there's some fine print here. Ricardo Clark's not going to join the Houston Dynamo in a game until Jeff Cameron's deal is done with Stoke City.
Yeah, and there's also talk about why is he going back to the Dynamo, who had the rights. Well, because he left on a free transfer, that's why he ends up going back to the Dynamo. They retain his rights. Ricardo Clark, obviously, as you mentioned, a big part of those great teams in the middle of the aughts when they won the MLS Cup in 06 and 07. He's going to be a good cog in the middle. This is a second big move of an acquisition now from the Houston Dynamo midseason. Don't forget, they picked up Boniek Garcia just about a month ago, and he has shined since he got in there. And this is a team that's defense all is really starting to gel right now. They gave up 1 goal in 6 matches in July. Undefeated in all of those matches, 4 wins and 2 draws. This is a Dynamo team that once Clark is into the fold, as soon as Jeff Cameron deal is completed after he gets his work permit to move to Stoke City, this is a team that's going to be very, very formidable. You will not want to meet them. Big match for them Friday night against New York.
Yeah, all that success has led them into second place in the Eastern Conference. They trail the New York Red Bulls by the slimmest of margins, and they've got a chance to take over first place at BBVA Compass Stadium on Friday night against the Red Bulls, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network, a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. What do you expect from this one, the top 2 teams in the East, right?
This is going to be a good one for the Houston Dynamo. I think for New York, it's going to be a little bit, I think there's some questions about the New York side because of some shuffling of personnel. First of all, you're out of basically 3 starters won't be there. Brandon Barklage, who's done so well at right back, is not going to be able to go. Ryan Mira still out. I'm not sold on Bill Gaudet as the goalkeeper yet. And Rafa Marquez still out. But you pick up Teemu Tainio, who looked very good in the friendly against Spurs midweek. Tim Cahill looked fine in the midfield for them as well, and I expect those 2 will start. Dax McCarty is out for suspension, so New York have to shuffle their lineup. Houston, no shuffling at all. They've looked very good. 4 wins in a row for them. The defense looks solid. They're at home where they haven't lost all season. So I think this is a game that Houston should be able to get 3 points in.
You mentioned Tim Cahill expecting his league debut on Friday night. He's not going to go a full 90. That's what we're hearing from Hans Baca. But nonetheless, league debut for Tim Cahill. 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network, a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. That does it for us. We'll get out of here and mention that Extra Time Radio came out on Thursday, the latest edition of the podcast with Taylor Twellman, talking about that big Shaw Reed-Joseph trade. We also had Robert Warzija from the Columbus Crew. Catch that on iTunes, Buzzsprout, and Stitcher Radio. And for all the latest news on MLS, log on to MLSsoccer.com.